we are going back into the Bridge Kingdom universe with the Twisted Throne, which is the 5th book. Now, I need to preface by saying that there will be spoilers for the Bridge Kingdom books, except for this one. So that's books 1, 2, 3, and 4. But again, I won't say any spoilers about this book. I do have videos about each and every one of the books in the Bridge Kingdom series, so definitely check those out if you haven't already. And yeah, let's do this. So a bit of a recap, probably not as long as a recap as I usually give in the last kind of Bridge Kingdom book, because Zara and Karis' story has wrapped up, Aaron and Laura's story has wrapped up, and we are now going to be following Aaron's twin sister, Ahnna. And so it's going to be interesting because they're going to be in like Harendell, the only other place really in the universe that we haven't visited yet. And it's going to be cool because it's like with the conclusion of Zara and Karis' story, there's peace now between 3 of the kingdoms. And so now we're going to have Ahnna, who's basically just going to go off to the other kingdom and hopefully bring peace to that as well, because that would be pretty cool. So from my understanding, this book follows Ahnna, like I mentioned, and she's finally kind of being traded, I guess is the best way to phrase it, to the kin of like Harendell to be his wife. And that's all related to that 15-year treaty. So like that's why Laura ended up marrying Aaron in the first place. And so similarly, she has basically been offered her entire life to be with this guy. And so I guess he finally calls in the bargain. And I think she's okay with it, to be honest, because like she doesn't like Laura. She feels incredibly guilty about, you know, Laura being a spy and basically unintentionally killing a bunch of people and all that stuff. And like we saw the tensions between those characters in Karis and Zara's book as well. So it's like she's dealing with some stuff, and I'm really excited to like really get into her head. And I think what really excites me about this one in particular is that she doesn't fall for the guy she's supposed to marry. No. She ends up falling for his brother. Like, oh! So, like, that's gonna be messy because, you know, that's not what she's supposed to be doing. And she's always been about, like, she needs to do this, she needs to do that, like, follow that kind of stuff. And so now that she's gonna basically follow her heart, try to go against her heart, it's gonna be a lot of drama involved. And I am so here for it. I love it. So obviously expectations very, very, very high, as they have been with the entire series. Entire series as a whole so far is a 4.5 out of 5. So I'm anticipating this book will also be a 4.5, which will kind of round up the score that we have going on. But yeah, honestly, I think it's just time to crack this book right open. I'm so excited. So yeah, let's do it. So I'm a little bit more than 100 pages into The Twisted Throne, and here are my thoughts so far. Obsessed. I'm already obsessed with this book, and it's so funny too because it's the same kind of like thought that I had before I started reading Karis and Zara's book, where I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna love these characters as much as I loved like Laura and Aaron. And then my thoughts like before reading this, I'm like, am I gonna love like Ahnna and James as much as I loved Karis and Laura and Aaron and Zara? I actually really do. It's really, really cool because she's going to the place that we have not yet explored as the readers. And so it's also cool because like with the map here, it shows the other part that the other books only showed like the like below here, and now we're seeing above here. And I just think that's cool because it's just like it makes the world feel so real. And like the subtle kind of like messaging throughout the entire series has really led to this moment in the book about like the customs and the culture and the religion and the other kind of like conflicts between the other kingdoms over on this side and Ahnna's whole part in it. And I love this book. Starts off instantly into the action as well, which is awesome. And you get the whole like, oh my goodness, this is the other brother. This isn't going to be the guy she's going to marry. She has to marry the other guy who we actually haven't even met yet. But from what the spies in the book tell us and what other characters are kind of telling us, he doesn't seem like he's a very like nice person. He seems like your stereotypical like pampered, pompous prince. Ooh, the alliteration in that was nice. So yeah, where we're at right now is we're introduced to, we'll kind of reintroduce to our setting where Ahnna is basically like on her way now to Harendell, where she's supposed to just live out her life. And we know that the court there, that they fight with their words, not with weapons, which is obviously the opposite of Ahnna's entire experience being like a commander. So it already doesn't seem like it's going to be a nice fit for her, but of course, like, she's very duty bound, and so she's following through with this because she had asked them for their support during the war. And so they're currently on their way to Harendell, and they're taking a little kind of pit stop, I guess is the best way to put it without spoiling anything, in a different place. And let's just say I really like the whole like tension between the two characters, and they're continuously biting at each other's throats, but it's like, I don't know how the story is going to like allow her to be with this guy, but like she's gotta be with him. So yeah, that's pretty much where we're at right now. It's so cool to just watch her in her element and the way she commands the ships and the seas and like all of the stuff. And so it's gonna be probably hard for her to basically be everything she isn't when she goes to this other place, which I really don't think that she'll be able to do that. That's really like, she's kind of traumatized by Laura's like whole, spy thing. And she's like, like, she doesn't want to be like Laura. She wants to make sure she's herself through and through. And in her mind, that means rejecting Harendell's expectations for women, which, like, nice. But also, like, she's rejecting things that don't really make sense to reject. She's dying on way too many hills. So we'll see, like, how that goes and, like, how she's going to navigate a different type of battle. And I think it's going to be really, really cool. So yeah, I'm going to continue to read this book, and I'll update you around the halfway mark. So I will see you then. So I'm now a little bit more than halfway through Twisted Throne, and I am still like eating this book up. I absolutely love just the whole drama aspect of it, and like how she wants to be with the other brother, and then how she, like, the trauma that she has from the war, I thought is being represented in a very good way. And it's just wonderful. I will say that it's definitely a lot slower than the other books have been. Like, it starts off with action, but there isn't really much action happening. But I think it's nice. It's kind of a nice change of pace because this kingdom itself is very different from all of the others that we've been to. And that it is way more political in nature, and it's way more kind of conversations and snarky remarks that are happening. So she's not fighting physically, she is navigating a completely different social structure, as well as just racism for the other kingdom that's kind of nearby, which this is actually really interesting because in the second Karis and Zara book, Karis had dressed up as one of the my goodness, I'm not going to say it right. It's the name that starts with C. And they basically believe in the stars and fortunes and all of the stuff. And that is not allowed in Harendell. Like, they will burn you at the stake and call you a witch. Unintentionally witch. Silas, if you remember Lystara, she, before she betrayed everybody, she was actually the daughter of that other nation and had been told, like, her fortune that she was basically going to become this queen. But then she got sent into exile and she's being treated awfully. Like, it's really hard to stomach. Like, I get, like, what she did was awful, but I agree that she should have, like, I feel like her head on a stake would have been better than her having to suffer like this. So that's interesting. And so we're following along like Ahnna, and she's trying to learn, like, what does she need to do? What is the best way to go about this? And she's like obviously fallen for James, but she's supposed to be with William. And like, is she trying? I don't know if she's really trying, to be honest, but like, it's hard. Like, when the heart wants something, the heart wants something. So yeah, definitely having a good time with this book. I'm really intrigued by kind of like the social politics that are going on within the book, and like the snide remarks, and how it's like they'll say something to you and then say another thing completely behind your back, and she doesn't really have anybody that she can trust aside from like the people that she brought with her. So we will see how it goes. I'm really hopeful that she'll gain the trust of some characters and we'll get some more like kind of insider drama. And I think it's going to be really good. So I'm going to continue to read Twisted Throne, and I will update you when I finish the book. So I will see you then with my final thoughts. So I just finished reading The Twisted Throne, and this entire series, like, this is such a good series. The way that the plot twist just got me, it just got me so good. I was like, oh, I know where this is going. No, she did not know where it was going. And I also really enjoyed following along just like Ahnna and James as we're learning more about them, but also like the way that Anna's trauma continues to just like resurface is done so well, because she is very different than the Ahnna that we meet in the Bridge Kingdom. She's been through so much trauma. She's been through war. She's been through just like more than anybody has probably ever been through. And it makes her so realistic, the way that you see her react to things, the way that she cares so deeply. And I'm just like, oh, I really like her character. And as expected, it of course ends on a cliffhanger. And unfortunately, I've caught up. I've caught up on the entire series, and I'm not really an audiobook girly, so I feel like I'm just going to wait till April to read the next book, which is excruciating. But I had to wait for Crescent City #3 after the way that #2 ended for like a year, so I think I can do this. But yeah, now that I've finished Twisted Throne, really excited for like the next installment, and then I can foresee there being many more books because of like all of Laura's sisters. So I don't think this series is coming to an end anytime soon, and I don't think I would want it to be honest. Like, it's just so well done, and there's somehow no magic, but like it works. Quite possibly one of the best world building in a book that I have read. Not Brandon Sanderson level, but still very good. I think that Danielle L. Jensen has definitely become one of my favorite authors. I've not read anything from her that I have disliked. I think she's wonderful at creating complex characters. She really does a really, wow, impressive job by like pulling the wool over your eyes and like plot twist on plot twist and all these different characters. And even characters you should hate, you feel conflicted about as well. And I think that's just the sign of like a realistic character, because nobody's really good or bad, and like that's just kind of the way like it works in real life too. And it's some advice that I've read in world building and character building books as well. Like, they are the hero in their own story, even if they're the villain in someone else's, you know? And I love it. I love it. I love the backstabbing. I love the betrayals. I love the romance. I love the world. I love Dippy, the horse. Like, if that horse gets hurt, I'm going to riot. Like, that's my character. I love that horse. But yeah, incredible book. There's so much deception that goes on in this book and all of the other books that I feel confident saying that this entire series is a 4.5 in total. I will make a video about the entire Bridge Kingdom series just as a whole, and like what I think about it and my experience with it and would I recommend it. Spoilers, yes I would. So yeah, this one did just a wonderful job in expanded more on the world, teaching us more about our main characters, showing how different trades work, and giving us a delicious forbidden romance. So good. So today we are going to be awarding The Twisted Throne a total of 4.5 stars. This is like so wild to me how good these books are. And I say it once again, I am shouting from the rooftops that this is such an underrated fantasy series that you gotta read it. You gotta read it. It is so, so good. I can't get over how wonderful it is. I've been having the time of my life reading all of these books, and it's just like the way that everything has been set up. I love the way that the twists and the turns work as well, and all the politics and the fantasy, and somehow it gets away with no magic. And like the impossible situations other characters are in, and the spice and the complexities of the characters, and oh, they're just so well done. All the characters are so well developed. The entire world is so, so good that like I'm happy that there were so many books out there that I was able to read, but I'm also disappointed because I want there to be more, which obviously more in the works, but like, oh, it's so good. So yeah, definitely highly recommend this series. So, so fun. So the next book that I'm going to be reading is Good Spirits by B.K. Borison. This, as you can tell, is a Christmas book, and as of recording this, it is 5 days before Christmas, so I need to get my Christmas reading in. I have this Christmas book, and then I have one other Christmas book, so I need to read those two within the 5 days, and I think that's doable. So if you're interested in watching me read Good Spirits or any other book that happens to me on my never-ending TBR, definitely go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. And with that, I'm going to wish you warm wishes and fish kisses, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!